Hi, hello. It's another week. 又一個新嘅禮拜啦。It's quite a good day actually. 今日都幾好天嘅 so I'll just go out for a walk. Good news, I finished my paper. 咁咧好消息就係我琴日完成咗我篇論文啦。Bad news， 唔好嘅消息就係 when I submitted, they asked me to submit in Chinese. 咁但係點我交嘅時候，佢同我講叫我交中文喎。But I actually deliberately asked, like, which language should I be writing in? 咁但係其實咧，明明寫之前我特登係問咗佢寫中文定英文啦。And he told me it doesn't matter, like it can be English, it can be Chinese. 咁佢係同我講話中英文都冇所謂嘅。But yesterday when I submitted it in English， 但係琴日我寫完啦，嘔心瀝血之後交英文之後咧 ，then he said, you know, like, oh, do you have the Chinese？ 跟住佢就問我你冇中文啊，定係得英文㗎咁？跟住我話吓，你話中英文都得㗎嘛 ？So I said to him, you said to me like it can be English or Chinese, you know? And then he said, oh, I actually said submit both 。跟住佢就同我講，其實我係話意思係叫你兩樣一齊交喎咁。And I said like there's no way， 我話唔可能咯。And then he was like, oh, but if you just translate yourself, it would be easy, right？ 跟住佢同我講你自己翻譯翻得好易啫，係咪啊咁 ？Well, I mean, of course not。咁梗係唔係啦。If he would have told me that it had to be in Chinese, then I would look for other sources。因為如果佢同我講要寫中文，咁我就會揾中文嘅論文睇啦，會寫中文嘅嘢啦咁樣。So I would be looking for, you know, like relevant articles or news in Chinese, right？ 咁寫英文，然後又要翻譯。But if you written it in English and then you have to translate, or either way, you know, like if you written in Chinese and then translate, it's another whole process. It's another month of work. 咁係另一個大工程啦，係另一個月要花另一個月去做嘅事啦咁樣。So I just told him I couldn't do it now。咁我同佢講我而家做唔到咯。And I was already like this is done, you know， like 咁同埋我好弊嘅，即係我已經覺得我剔咗嗰樣嘢做完啦咁樣樣。So whatever， 咁是 Q 彈啦，我唔會再搞噶啦。I'm not going to do it again。係啦，我點都唔會再執噶啦咁樣。But if it's published, then I'll let you know。咁如果佢有刊登出嚟嘅話咧，有發表咁就會話俾大家知啦咁樣。Anyway, so let's start the reading today。咁我哋今日就正式開始讀書啦。Read to Resist, Day 178。當閱讀也是抗爭，第178日。A Concise History of Hong Kong by John Mark Carroll。香港簡史，從殖民地至特別行政區，著者高馬可，譯者林立偉。Hong Kong's troubles. The British occupation made Hong Kong into a boom town. Hong Kong in the early 1840s had all the rugged excitement of a frontier town, not unlike the gold rush towns in the American West or in Australia and New Zealand. When the British took control of Hong Kong in January 1841, the northern shore of the island was for the most part unoccupied, and the rest of the island consisted mainly of small farming and fishing villages. The island's total population was probably between 5,000 and 7,000. However, Hong Kong soon drew Chinese of all walks of life from Guangdong and European merchants and missionaries from Macau. By early 1842, Hong Kong was a bustling town with between 15,000 and 20,000 inhabitants, complete with official buildings such as a magistrate's office, post office, land and record office, and jail. A few rough roads link these buildings with commercial facilities such as wharfs, piers, warehouses, shops, brothels, gambling houses, tailor shops, and a marketplace. By 1845, European visitors frequently commented on Hong Kong's palatial government buildings and opulent merchants' residencies. 儘管香港很有潛力，但卻沒有如殖民地建立者所想那樣，馬上成為 偉大的東方商業重鎮。轉口貿易發展緩慢，香港因此仍然讀錯咗，再嚟個困擾香港的問題。香港因被英國佔領而繁盛起來。1840年代初的香港，頗像美國西部或澳洲和新西蘭的淘金小鎮。邊境小鎮的一切粗獷刺激，通通都有。英國人在1841年1月佔領香港時，港島北岸大部分地方都未被佔領，島上其餘地方主要是小農村和漁村。港島總人口約在5000至7000之間。但香港不久就吸引了廣東各階層的華人前來，澳門的歐籍商人和傳教士亦慕名而至。及至1842年初，香港已發展成人口15000至2萬的熱鬧小鎮，並建有各種政府建築物，如裁判司署、郵政局、土地登記所和監獄。又修建了少數崎嶇道路，聯繫這些建築物和商業設施，如碼頭、倉庫、商店、妓院、賭場、裁縫店和菜市場。到了1845年，訪港的歐洲人常述及香港宏偉的政府建築物和華麗的商人宅地。Scholars who celebrate Hong Kong's political stability and economic success as a capitalist paradise often forget that the colony's early history was a rocky one. Colonialism created tremendous opportunities for wealth, but it also meant crime, tension, and confusion. The new wealth in Hong Kong, especially compared with the poverty in the surrounding areas on the mainland, the easy access from China, and the large number of European adventures all led to crime on land and privacy in the surrounding waters. The large and sudden influx of both Chinese and European newcomers meant land shortages and the end of traditional land rights. Some villagers found themselves paying rent not only to the colonial government, but also to the Tang family, which also owned most of the land in Hong Kong, or to the Chinese authorities in Guangdong. Unresolved issues about jurisdictions over Hong Kong's Chinese residents meant that officials in Guangdong often refused to recognize British jurisdiction in Hong Kong, leading to constant tensions between Britain and China that affected relations between the Chinese and European residents of Hong Kong. 那些盛讚香港政治穩定和經濟成功，是資本主義天堂的學者，常常忘記這個殖民地的早期歷史其實十分坎坷。殖民統治創造大量致富機會，但也滋長了罪案和緊張混亂的狀況。香港的新財富，尤其是相對於周邊中國大陸各地的貧窮，往來中國的便利，以及大量來自歐洲的冒險家，全是導致陸上犯罪活動和周邊水域海盜行為的因素。來自中國和歐洲的新移民突然大量湧入，令土地不足，也意味着傳統土地權利的終止。有些鄉民發覺自己現在不但需向殖民地政府繳稅，還要向擁有香港大部分土地的鄧氏或者廣東的中國當局賦稅。有關香港華人居民的司法管轄權問題懸而未決，廣東官員因此常常不承認英國在香港擁有司法管轄權，引致英中雙方不斷角力，從而影響香港華洋居民之間的關係。So this is the reading of today. 咁今日就係讀呢個部分啦。It started to get real, right? 咁開始咧入獄啦。And talks a little bit about like how people from like original villages now have to pay taxes to different parties. 咁即係開始講譬如土地嘅擁有權啦。點樣原居嘅鄉民開始無端端要交好多稅俾唔同嘅人啦，咁樣樣。So when people talk about politics have nothing to do with me， 咁所以當大家講政治唔關我事嘅時候咧 ，this is like one good example。呢個其實係一個好好嘅例子。A lot of things affect us, right？ 咁其實好多嘢都影響我哋。 You might say, well, of course, it's an occupation, right? There was a war, then of course it affect people. 咁你當然會話，打仗啊嘛，咁梗係影響佢啦，即係咁樣樣。But I mean nowadays, even the war is not at your home， 即使個仗唔係喺你屋企打 ，it actually affects you too。佢其實都會影響你嘅。Right now in Europe， like 而家歐洲啦，唔係打緊佢哋喎。So Russia invade Ukraine only, right? It's not even a European Union country member。咁亦都即係甚至乎唔係呢一個歐盟嘅會員嘅成員，即係呢一個烏克蘭俾俄羅斯呢一個侵略咁樣啦。The entire region and actually the entire world's energy has been affected。咁全球嘅呢一個嘅電力啊能源嘅供應其實係有影響啦。Famine in the North Africa was actually partly because of this as well。咁譬如北非而家嘅饑荒都係其實有好大部分嘅原因都係因為呢一場即係侵略戰啦。And then you also see like the inflation and everything。咁仲有通貨膨脹啦。It's not just because of pandemic， 其實唔係淨係因為呢一個嘅疫情嘅咁樣。So everybody could feel the stress and the effect of something that is happening far away from them。咁其實每一個人咧都會感受到，即使係好遠嘅地方嘅發生嘅事咧，對佢其實都有一啲壓力同有一啲影響嘅。So some might have it like sort of easier, like or kind of invisible in a way that because people are just not used to thinking about that。咁有啲人覺得喂好唔關我事啊，影響唔到我啊咁樣，只不過係因為其實你平時冇咁樣諗嘢。You just kind of like, go with the flow that when they say they raise 10 cents, then you pay 10 cents more because you can afford that 10 cents. You would have thought, like, what is 10 cents? It's nothing, I'll give it to you. 咁可能對有啲人嚟講就係加價，咁加1毫子，你可能覺得冇加咯，俾你加，咁你加我咪加咯咁樣。你可能覺得個1毫子冇乜特別啦咁樣。But 10 cents for other people, might equals to your $100。咁但係可能喺另一啲地方咧，1毫子可能就等於你嘅100蚊啦咁樣樣。So everything is relative， 其實所有係相對啦。But you cannot say that it doesn't affect you。但係你唔可以話佢唔影響你嘅 ，because 10 days of 10 cents is $1，right？ 你1毫子咁1毫子一次咁10日就1蚊噶咯喎咁樣。So I mean like this is the sort of mentality that we have to change now, especially we live in this global world。With like distances not necessarily being measured just by the physical distance。因為而家其實即係講緊喺網上嘅世界，我哋而家咁樣嘅數碼嘅一個嘅運作嘅時候，其實即係嗰個嘅距離唔係淨係講即係實體有幾多米、幾多公里嘅距離，而係真實係好多嘢原來係只係撳一個掣就會影響到你㗎啦。So everything can be just changed or people can be affected just because of a flick of a switch, and just touch to an app, 咁或者即係淨係喺我哋嘅電話上面撳一個 app， 咁跟住啲嘢就可以係影響到你，而係有好重要嘅影響添咁樣。So everything is really at our fingertips。咁其實所有嘢都係喺我哋嘅手指嘅呢個指頭彈指之間可以做到啦咁樣。So I think like this is also very interesting to read about like when the Brits first occupied Hong Kong, there were only like 2,000 to 5,000 people。我覺得咧對我嚟講最有趣就係咧，原來咧英國最初佔領香港嘅時候咧，只係得2000至5000嘅人口啦。And right now it's close to 8 million， 但係而家咧就係800萬人啦。Of course they were only talking about the island， 咁當然佢哋淨係講香港島嘅人啦咁。But still, I mean like let's say half of the Hong Kong population now lives on Hong Kong Island。我哋當一半人口住喺香港島咧 ，that's still 4 million, right？ 400萬啦咁樣。So it's just kind of like wild to imagine like such a small place would like host so many people。即係覺得咁細嘅地方，即係有咁多人喺度生活，都係一件都幾瘋癲嘅事。So this is it for today。咁今日就嚟到呢度啦，聽日再見 ，See you again tomorrow。拜拜。